a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates. We continue with our interviews, but before we do, we just want to say good morning to a few of you on the live. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning, Miss Pearl Marie Beard, Miss Brenda Campbell. Thank you so much for joining us. Samantha Boucher, Portia John Charles, good morning and welcome. We are so happy that you are joining us. Now we're going straight into our interview, and not to be left behind, we just concluded an interview with the Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. And now we're speaking with the Assistant Secretary, Mr. Sonny Craig, in the same division. And today we're talking about exercise with the Assistant Secretary. I know most of you might have seen some videos and photos circulating on social media with this secretary exercising with his crew. So we're here this morning to talk a little bit about it, about the genesis of it, the objectives, the outcomes, and where we're taking this particular could we call it an event or an exercise or a program or an initiative? Where are we taking this? So good morning, Mr. Craig. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning to Tobago, the World Wide Web, Trinidad, wherever you are. Good morning.
Right. So we're talking about exercise with the secretary. And I have seen videos, I have seen photos of you and your crew exercising. So tell us a little bit about where the idea for this came from.
All right. The idea came during the COVID. Something struck me very forcefully during the COVID. The word was comorbidities. And when you do the research and look at what comorbidities are, it's simply, basically, mostly non-communicable diseases, which means, I found out yesterday, these diseases that are not caught by contagion. So, there are so many of these diseases being circulated in Tobago, and this seemed to be the major market that COVID was looking for. Obesity, people with heart conditions, cancers, diabetics, and what really appealed to me is that these diseases are preventable. And in Tobago, 62% of our deaths come from persons suffering with these comorbidities. 62%. World Health Organization figures suggest 74% worldwide. And the challenge here also is that so many of these people are under 70, which basically, based on biblical rationale, suggests, you're supposed to make at least a 70. And most people who die before 70 die because of non-communicable diseases. And so I thought we should do something about it as a division. In the division of health, we should not be all about vaccines and antibiotics and that kind of thing. We need to focus also on personal responsibility. What could I do to experience my best years, my best health? And so I began the exercising program, which is just the first part of what will roll out to be something really major. This is just like a pilot project, and it's not reserved for any specific group. Anybody who sees us online and wants to join us, you are free to, this is 2023. You just send the message, we just hook you up, and you come join us in the evening, and we have a sweat together. It is not about that particular group. It is about every single person, every single citizen having a program. Your program might be going on to the football field in the evening and have a sweat. Listen, these diseases function, or they thrive in a particular environment. One environment is abuse of alcohol. The next environment is smoking, or 4 environments. The third environment is poor dieting. And the fourth one is inactivity. So this program is designed to target inactivity in the first instance. And as the time goes by, we're going to roll out more and more programs to get the entire population of Tobago. And of course, now it's not Tobago alone. Wherever you're hearing me from, you need to take responsibility to arrest your health and bring yourself into optimum form, whatever age you are at. Regardless of your age, everybody has a responsibility.
You know what is striking about this? Initially, when I saw the program, I thought it was just for members of the division. But you said that it's not just for the members of the division. You actually want to reach a wider audience, yes. Tobago and even beyond Tobago, to take that responsibility, to take care of their health, to ensure that they're in a position, if should something happen,
Yes.
that the body has a level of resistance.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And the inactivity is a serious thing, because I'm telling you, if you're, especially people who drive to go everywhere,
Correct.
try
Go
to
on.
walk up Burnett Hill.
Thank
Let
you.
me tell you, I tried to walk up Burnett Hill sometime recently, and I was
Yeah.
like, where is this bike?
Yes.
You know, so
Yes.
the inactivity really does
Yes.
have you feeling a little bit crippled and restrictive, and you're just heaving and hiving.
Yes.
So I really like that idea
Yes.
about it. And talk again about the four things, the four aspects that lead
Yes.
to.
So one is smoking, because I am not going to pretend to be a doctor this morning. I am quoting what is general information. And one of the things I'm going to encourage you, if I quote the four, is that in the first step for most of us in moving from where we are to where we want to be might be to have a conversation with our doctor. Right? But the four things I quoted: cigarette smoking, one of the most unnecessary activities in humanity. Smoking, we were not designed for smoke inhalation, inhale and puff. Alcohol abuse, there's a purpose for alcohol somewhere. I don't drink any at all, not even my beer. The third one is poor dieting, and the fourth, inactivity.
Yeah.
And as you talk about Burnett Hill, you know, one of the regimens we do is on Sundays we do a hike. And we go to different locations in Tobago. On the weekend coming, we're going to Palatuvia. We've been to No Man's Land. We've been to Castara, Studley Park. We've been to a few places. Well, the cream of the crop so far is a place between Annesville and Lekoto called Jesus Hill. And
Never heard of it.
When you're in Women, you look across the Lekoto, you see beautiful. Oh, there we are. that picture is the last step. And it's almost like if you're carrying the cross, like Jesus carrying the cross to the top of the hill. And that's the view all around when you look at it. So in addition to the fitness, we get to enjoy fantastic views. We get to enjoy that fresh air. There's no challenge for the fresh air up on Jesus Hill.
Right.
And that particular hike stands out. And when we got to the top, it was really a photo session. Oh, there you go. The youths really enjoy themselves. And we are gaining fitness. People sometimes do not embark on health programs because sometimes they want immediate results. You can't take years to become unhealthy and just and find yourself out of shape. And then after you do 2 weeks in the gym, you're supposed to be all of a
fit
sudden,
and trim.
yeah, you could do a marathon. No. Think about it, my friends. It's just simply, I don't want to go in this direction. I'm changing course. I'm changing course for my benefit and for the benefit of my family. You know, as a young man,
Look at them.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Am I there? Am I in
Yes.
that picture? Look him over there. You could hardly move. But regardless of what your situation is, you have a responsibility to take care of your health and to take care of yourself. And I heard Dr. Faith say it earlier also, and I think I heard you say it in the previous interview. Many times and I'm not going to be disrespectful in saying this, but many times we take ourselves down a particular road, and then when we get to the point where we can't go anymore, we are angry. We are angry at the health system, because when you really look at it, as important as the hospitals and the health centers are, if we take responsibility for health, a lot of times, a lot of these visits will be minimized. Yeah?
True.
And sometimes there's a challenge also. There's a challenge also in blood donations. Because many times we can't find the people with that willingness to give blood, because everybody wants to conserve what they have. Could you imagine if we have a really fit and healthy population? The need for blood will minimize, and also when there's a call, people will line up just to give, because everybody is enjoying such a high standard of health. So I really want to encourage Tobago and wherever you're listening to me from, we have a responsibility to be healthy. Wealthy is optional, but healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I just want to say that the program is open. Even if you can't be a part of this program, at least 3 days a week, we have multiple gyms around the island. We're going to be exploring the gyms and giving them that attention that they need. We're going to, as a division, assist them in advertising their product. There is also the option of you getting up and taking a walk in the morning, a simple walk. Walking is rated, I think it's one of the top 2 exercises. I'm going to say 2. I think swimming is the next one. Swimming, because there is no pressure on your joints, and it is such a great cardiovascular movement. And of course, there's resistance training. There is, as I said, football. You could go play football, go play netball. Move,
Just
move,
keep it
get
moving,
Tobago,
yes.
get moving. We cannot afford, and listen, let me give this one quickly, because I don't know how much time I have. I learned yesterday again that somebody who smokes, and I'm not going to support smoking in any way, but somebody who smokes and exercises has a better chance of living a longer life than somebody who does not smoke and sits on the couch whole day, every day, and does nothing. That's the critical part about moving. Sometimes you see somebody doing something that appears unhealthy, but sometimes they counter it with a healthy practice. Why don't we put all these healthy practices in order and just make them a part of our regimen? So we started in fitness today. When I come back again, I hope we'll be able to talk about diet.
Right.
Right? Because Tobagonians are not jokers when coming to food.
I know.
We like with food.
We love with food,
And here
with
I
only
am.
coconut milk
Here
and
I
all
am.
the
I
oil
weigh
and the
200 and
season.
something pounds because I eat well. I don't ever hold back on food.
Right.
I could fast if I have to do.
Right.
But we need to make that a part of the conversation.
So where is this program going? Because I like everything I'm hearing. I didn't even know that you all did stuff like hikes and other outdoor
Yes.
activities. I really thought it was just restricted to that space where I see you guys do the, but I'm happy to hear that you actually take it outside in the outdoors, enjoying nature,
Yes,
the
yes.
scenery, and of course, building friendships and relationships.
Oh, yes.
Because, I mean, as you said, anybody is invited to come along with you guys.
Anybody could
How
come.
does one join your group? How does one, how do we know that there's a hike this weekend?
Right.
Where do we find you, and how do we register if there's a registration process?
All right, on the division Facebook page, we will advertise during the preceding week what the plan is for a weekend coming. Well, everybody knows now it's Palatavia this weekend, this Sunday. And if you visit the page, you'll get the information. And of course, it's online. You could just indicate your interest, and we look out for you. It's that simple. There is, we ask for a $5, because what will happen eventually is that as we move and as we grow, there'll be little costs involved, And one of the things Tobagonians, and everybody needs to understand that nothing is free. Nothing is free. Even if you didn't put out cash on your pocket.
It might not be free. It might be free to you, but somebody else has to pay for it, right?
Somebody else has to pay for it,
yes.
right? And that $5 is not mandatory. It is not mandatory because people come, you don't have the $5, we won't tell you, okay, let's train, let's get these bodies in gear to fight the fight of life. Now, one of the things that also motivated me is when the Chief Secretary spoke about building the greatest little island on the planet. That island will not be built with a workforce that is sick and
sluggish.
My father, from Lekoto, when he tells me about his boy days, riding from Lekoto to Glamorgan every morning to go to work and ride back to Lekoto, he was a fitness freak. He did multiple jobs in the time when things were really hard. He did 4 different jobs. He was cutlassing in the morning. He was working taxi. He was doing security in the night, and all because during his young days, he made that investment. It is Eric Grimshaw, one of the herbalists that once operated in Scarborough, told me, if you take care of yourself for the first half of your life, your body will take care of you for the second half of your life. And I really live by that. I believe in that one. He said, if you think health is expensive, try sickness.
True.
And there is no health practice that you can engage in that could take more money from you than the money you will spend to regain your health when you get sick. So as a division of health, we push in for health. And I know that we don't need bigger hospitals. We might need to upgrade in areas, in the hospital. But the healthier our population becomes, the less need we have for big, expansive architectural wonders called hospitals. Yeah.
Mr. Craig, I just want to say thank you so much. Right? You brought a lot of insight. As I said, I thought the program was just about exercising. I'm so happy to hear that there are nature walks, there are hikes. So guys, we want you to jump on board. We want a healthy Tobago. We want a healthy nation, a healthy country, a healthy world. So let us take responsibility for our health. And if you want to be a part of the programs offered by the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, of course, find their Facebook page, look out to see what is happening next and how you can join, and let us get our bodies in motion. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for staying with us. And we are going to head into a break before we bring in our next guest. But before we go, of course, we're asking you to share the live, share the live, share the live.